This is what happens when teams ignore the meta. The Shock were somewhat rebounding from their atrocious first half with their new white boy backline, but in this single match versus the London Spitfire, all of that progress was erased. London started off strong with a 2-0 win on Antarctic Peninsula. On Labs, Shock tried to match them on their rush, but Backbone put on a May masterclass with multiple fight-defining walls and icicle snipes. On Icebreaker, Shock tried to poke them out with a Pharmacy, Soldier Kiriko Goon Squad, and a for frontline presence, but ultimately Proper didn't find kills fast enough before Junbin was dismantled, and Probe on the Soldier did nothing as soon as London knew of his existence. Potty would deadass drop everything and just pin at him, or they'd set up an ambush with Backbone and Admiral to catch him out early. With better coordination between aggression, maybe the double poke would have worked, but it just did not come together. Eichenwald was a disaster for the Shock from frame 1. While Junbin was daydreaming, thinking about the good old days on O2 Blast, he suddenly got FNAF jump scared by the entire London squad pulling up on a May wall. This map was basically can Proper with his Luke Mino pocket, kill everything before London make it to point, and perform a beatdown. And even though Shock were able to hold for a significant amount of time on second, because of London's steamroll through first, it didn't matter and London were able to go on to complete the map. On Shock's offense, they managed 2 ticks, but really there was no gas whatsoever from anyone. There's one thing in particular that really stood out in this map. Even with London being as densely packed as a circus in a clown car, Renko failed to land a single anti-nade. That is pretty unacceptable. Renko's been great for playing safe and keeping his guys alive, but you have to find an angle somewhere to land a nade on this rush comp. This is the first time where the lack of experience and star power could be felt from the Shock backline. I don't know if Finn would have actually changed the outcome of this match, but I do know that he would have landed more nades even if he had to jump face first into Hottie. Gibraltar is where things went off the rails. We had a 5-4 comeback win from the Shock. We had a Rhine mirror on Gibraltar, and also Junkrat, Bastion, Farah, and Orisa, plus more. This was a flawless cosplay of East Coast ranked. Proper broke the record for all-time final blows in a single map using 5 different heroes. He had about 4 5Ks throughout this map. This man is doing everything in his power to win. London rolled through most of their attack by brute forcing cart pressure, and Junbin continuously dropping dead instantly. Shock held it together for a bit on third, but London still capped with over 2 minutes using Reinhardt on Jib. Make it make sense. Shock's offense was also interesting. The Spitfire went for a 3-fight spawn hold setup, and Shock countered with Junkrat and Bastion. So smart, genius maneuvers. And it worked more or less until third, where the Spitfire got their footing and Shock only capped an OT because Proper killed 5 with Nano Blade. The extra rounds were more or less the same, with Shock making it to second point with back-to-back Proper 5Ks on Farah. In the end, London didn't quite match up and got gunned down on second by a Bastion Ant Matrix combo, continuing the madness onto map 4. Unfortunately, all good things must come to an end. The Shock went out sad and practically got full capped on Esperanza. But the good news is, Finn is alive, and even though he didn't help at all, I am very happy to see that he has escaped the crusty dungeon. Throughout this map, London were always 2 steps ahead and did not give Shock any space to breathe. I mean, they rolled out on the Shock's high ground, which was catastrophic for Finn because he was on Zenyatta, and in the blink of an eye, he got TP'd on and obliterated. It did not matter what comp Shock was on. Orisa, Winston, and especially Doomfist did not work. Junbin's Doom is a socio-economic threat to the human race. I fear watching him play Doom will set back our evolutionary path by 1,000 years. He had no clue what was going on. He'd slam directly in front of London, block immediately, and then that's it. There's no pressure, there's no space, there's no forced cooldowns, there is nothing. He'd punch down a narrow corridor into the entire team just to get Maywalled and turned into flat Stanley. Despite its questionable level of play, this game was a breath of fresh air. It was really nice to see a combination of heroes that was not the standard. I really hope London continue to say fuck it and run the Rhine, because that's when they look their best and it's just enjoyable. And I mean, Shock had no idea how to beat it. San Fran need to figure out how to play this game. All their comps looked dreadful, and Junbin played his worst game of the season. Bro was running a charity the way he fed London's lower class. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and if you like this video, be sure to subscribe for more pro Overwatch content. Have yourself a good one. Deuces.